Parles-tu français? Hablas español? Parli italiano? If you've used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world. With lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers, Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Wondery. Spelled BABBEL.com/Wondery. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hi, everyone. This episode centers on the passing of Garrison Brown, who died by suicide last spring. So we will be talking about that, and I wanted to give you the Suicide and Crisis Hotline number, which is 988. So if you are feeling alone, please text or call 988. There will be someone always there to connect with you and talk with you. Thank you, and thanks for listening.
Now, Draco, without you, what do we do? Where do we turn? To the stars, Bowen. To the stars.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name's Amy.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey, Aim, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm bracing myself for this.
We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay.
Guys, just so you are aware, this episode's going to feel a little lopsided because the first half, we're going to be talking about David jumping a fence.
The way it breaks down, it's 41 minutes. It is 11 minutes of fluff.
Yes.
And
so
30 minutes of substance.
We're going to talk about the fluff.
Yep,
and then
we'll get it out of the way.
We'll take a little break where I will verbally warn you that we are going into talking about Garrison's passing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to not be fluffy.
No, it's not going to be fluffy. And we've been talking about this since the day Garrison passed. What the fuck are they going to do with this on the show? I thought they nailed it.
I thought they did really well. I like I said on Reality Roundup, I heard on Ace and Caitlin's show, I forget who they heard it from. I think somebody watched McKelty's live.
Okay.
And said that Cody and Janelle had complete control over this narrative.
Mm-hmm.
What was included, what wasn't, who was included, who wasn't. So like that makes me feel a lot better because this
makes me feel a lot better too.
His parents
making the choice.
Are making the choice of how to present his story.
Yeah.
And
they do it beautifully.
I thought it was well done. I sobbed the entire, like I couldn't watch it again. You know what I mean?
Well, I had to.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it again. I watched it the first time. That was
Can
it.
we talk about how I seem to get the real hard episodes over and over again? I got Shauna having the baby in the wilderness. I'm getting this.
Yes.
But, well,
yes.
You know what? Because I am the one who can watch these things multiple times.
Yeah, I literally could not watch it again. It was when Gabriel came on.
Yeah. And well, what we're going to do, guys, is we'll do our normal stupid recap with the Frisbee and the tablecloth conversation because
we have to cover it. We have to cover it.
And by the way, if we ever got a Just Story show about one of these people, this is what we're getting. Frisbees and tablecloths.
Yeah. If you want a Christine and Janelle spinoff, here it is, guys.
it's Frisbees and tablecloths, even though it was Mary, but still. And then what we're going to do is we're not going to recap line by line of what he said, and then she said, and then he said, and then they went to this person. We're going to talk about each person who spoke and what they spoke about.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because some people talked about their reactions immediately. Gabriel did not, thank God, because he was the one who found Garrison. And I'm glad he didn't speak of that, but he spoke about just how wonderful his brother was. And I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, I did too. Another thing is this episode will be out on the free feed for everyone because I feel like we're going to be having important conversations and we didn't want to monetize this episode, if that makes sense.
Right.
So there will not be commercials in the middle. I'm going to do what I can to try not to have them on the beginning and end. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to try.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
And I also want to tell everyone not to forget that the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. You can text, you can call. There's people there to help you if you're struggling.
And you don't have to be in immediate crisis to call. They are there anytime.
Absolutely.
I think you have to wait until like all
No.
hell is breaking loose
Mm-mm.
emotionally. You don't.
If you
Anytime
have
you feel like you need
dark
to talk to somebody.
thoughts, right? If you have dark thoughts just starting to
Mm-hmm.
come in, which it happens to everybody, make that
Yeah.
call. Talk to somebody. Find somebody to talk to.
Yep. Find a counselor, find somebody, because nobody should have to suffer this way.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is a better place with all of us here.
Yeah. And at the end of the episode, we're going to end it with, I want to read Garrison's obituary.
Okay.
Because I feel like that was probably Maddie who wrote it.
Okay.
I'm thinking. And I want to end with the family's words about
whoever
him.
wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Amanda, take us away. This is Sister Wives season 19, episode 23. What's the title?
The stars will fall from the sky.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh God, Amy, are you going to be able to get through this?
It's going to be tough, but we'll
Okay.
get through it. It's not about me. It's about Garrison.
Garrison. So let's talk about the bullshit.
Ugh.
Amy, we're having a party. It's prime Sister Wives bullshit content. We're having a group of people over.
I got a lot of truly Grace Brown content here, and I was happy about that.
Not only did we get a lot of truly Grace, again, every week I'm not falling for David, but I'm feeling better and better.
Oh God.
No, I'm feeling better and better and better about him in this family.
Okay, see, I felt the opposite in this episode. I was kind of
Not
like,
his
he's
behavior.
ornery.
Oh, he's ornery. He's a pain in the ass.
He's a little, little punk there. Doesn't like to be told what to do.
Why would no? That's yes, I agree. But no, I'll get to why I'm feeling better about him in this family.
Okay.
So they've been together for a year, because they've been married, bought a house.
She can't believe it. She can't believe it.
Nor can I, girl. Same. I thought Todd and I moved fast, but Jesus. And they both feel like they've built a real partnership together.
Yeah, I agree.
Isabel talks about being nervous about David and having a man in the house full time because they've never had that. And Christine being with somebody full time. They've
hate
never
to tell
had
them
that.
they haven't even had a man in the house part time.
No, not really. And Isabel talked about how Christine really was just the head of the house. She just ran the show. And basically Dad bopped in from time to time.
And isn't it interesting that she didn't Christine did not realize her own independence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christine says that she and David do butt heads. As we see David basically scale the fence as she's begging him not to.
Yeah. So the frisbee goes over the fence. Dun, dun, dun. What's going to happen? Right?
And guys, it's like a $2 frisbee. I think you can get another one at CVS if it's that far gone, but okay.
Well, I was kind of with David on this one.
Yeah.
Because David's like, I'm just going to climb the fence. And Christine's screaming, we don't want the little kids to see that. Now, I understand where that comes from.
Yes.
But I will pay one of those twins $85,000 if they could get up over that wall.
David could barely get up over
without
that
the help of anyone else.
Right.
I think
and without
David,
building a structure to get them up there.
I think David felt like, my manhood's being tested a little bit in the shrimp room. I got to get over the fence.
For shrimp.
And he just...
Wait, guys, I got to do this. I have a shrimp room in my Airbnb. There's a shrimp room.
Yeah.
Give me this.
Shrimp
I need shrimp room.
Christine, you're so hot. You're so hot.
And a shrimp room. So, whatever. They're fine. Christine says she was in charge of parenting when she was with Cody. But Cody didn't want to know about the little things. And David wants to know about everything.
Mm-hmm.
What a relief that must feel like. To have someone, to finally feel like someone gives a shit.
I know.
What that could feel like is that Cody didn't, what it can feel like, and the truth was that Cody didn't give a shit.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you have 18 children.
18 children. When I was on, so guys, I don't know, I know many of our listeners are also listeners of Dr. Adam. I was on his Patreon this week, and we talked a bit about, obviously we talked a lot about the sister wives. And one of the things I said is part of the reason Cody's not a great dad is there's just too many people.
Yeah.
No one has the emotional bandwidth for that.
Yeah.
The best parent on the planet doesn't have the emotional bandwidth for 18 children.
I mean, traditionally, historically, bigger families were more common because you needed kids to help
do the work,
farm, do the work.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need that anymore.
No. We don't.
My kids aren't helping me do anything.
They're
causing problems.
You really aren't helping anybody do anything either, to be fair.
No. I'm useless too.
But one thing Christine said, and she said it a couple times, is I wasn't as married as I thought I was.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I do too.
I've been in a marriage where I wasn't really married.
Yeah, I get that. And David agrees. The two of them, they work stuff out. Christine even says, if they have an argument, like if one of them wakes up at 3, they'll wake up the other to just finish the conversation, which I'd be like, unless it's life or death, don't fucking
do
wake me
not
up.
fucking wake me up.
No.
They must still be in the honeymoon phase. This is new relationship energy because no.
Do you know how hard it is for this menopausal asshole over here to go back to sleep? Do not fucking wake me up.
No, don't wake me up.
Ooh, last night the acupuncture yoga that I went to was all about menopause. It was a whole room of women talking about menopause.
Oh, nice.
It was great.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm like really into like us all talking about this.
Yeah.
It's very
Well,
good.
because no one ever talked about it before.
And that's one of the things I said. I said I feel like Gen X women are just breaking this shit the
Wide open.
and we're not messing around with it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anyway, so here's the reasons that I'm really warming to David in this family. We see David in the kitchen with Truly, and he puts his arm around her, and she seems very comfortable.
Yeah, she does.
And, how's your day? And she was wearing shorts. He's like, hey, what happened to your knee there? And she's like, oh, I just scraped it. And he's like, oh, I've got a bum knee too. Like, Truly's comfortable with this guy.
Yeah. And he is connecting with these kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next, Isabel says, she talks about how afraid she was of David trying to replace Cody and how that made her really nervous at first. And you see David bonding with Truly. And Isabel says, David doesn't overstep boundaries and he makes it a very, a very safe place. And she trusts him wholeheartedly. The most important thing is Truly, and Truly's great.
Yeah, it was really nice. By the way,
Isabel,
guys,
who was
breaking news that Cody is now ordered to pay child support to Truly. We
Thank
don't know
God.
how much, but that case has been won, which we kind of knew it would be.
Yeah, we knew that would happen. And I'm glad. But I'm glad Isabel, who was the holdout on all of this and was real uncomfortable about David and the speed and all of that.
I suspect what might have happened here, Amanda, is she was like, I hope he doesn't replace my dad. And then she realized there's not much to replace.
This is what dadding looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what dadding, when done as best we can tell, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of his kids are still into him. Like,
yeah,
he seems to have a very connected family.
I will tell you that my dad became a much better father once my parents got divorced. And don't forget, my parents didn't get divorced till I was 21.
Right. And you were also still obsessed with your dad.
Yeah. He became a much better father in that time because he had to be. And that's what David did. He had to be.
Yeah.
Hands
wife
on
was gone.
with his
He had
kids.
to.
Yeah. And I think, it's funny when you see men in that primary parent role, which is normally reserved for mothers or, whatever. They do well.
Yeah.
And
they do.
Cody was never going to be in that role. He was never going to be connected to these kids. Not the way, and he's even very connected to Robin's kids, but I would say he's still not 100% hands-on with them.
I was just say, when things like this, men step up, except the husband of what's wrong with Aunt Diane, he didn't step up.
Oh no, he adopted that kid out.
He shipped the kid out. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I think this is why I feel better, feeling good about David in this family.
Okay.
Like, the girls are truly comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's really important. So now we're at the Mayor B&B and it's a big day. Last guest checking out.
It's a big day. We are putting a new tablecloth on.
Yes. And the last guests are checking out, though it's the tablecloth that seems to be much more interesting. And so they're closing for this renovation, which we knew about. And Mary says it's going to have a whole different vibe. They're going to redo the kitchen. And she really wants it to be a small event space versus a B&B, which I think makes sense.
Yeah, me too.
I think it'll be great. So when she bought the house, she said again, the same thing she said 10 years ago when she bought it. I didn't want a B&B. I wanted this house back in my family. And no one believed her. Yeah. And I really think that's just what it was.
I agree.
She wanted this house in her family.
Yeah.
I don't ever have that pull to a piece of property, but if I did,
I could see that here.
Yeah.
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 Timmy's dad built their house. I could see his mother really wanting it to stay in the family.
Yeah.
Same with our house, which was built by Timmy. So yeah, I get it.
Well, that's your generation. This is like 3 generations later.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing like that in my family.
Yeah, no, I'll see there.
I think this is lovely. So,
I mean, I lived in my grandmother's house and I sold it
right,
to a stranger.
So you were fine.
Actually, no, I called my father sobbing to make sure I was doing the right thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he said you were doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're getting excited because now that they're going to have no more guests, they can put the old tablecloth back out.
I mean, we've waited all year.
They
for
can put
this?
Lizzie's tablecloth back out. It's so exciting. It is pretty. I mean, it's clearly a hand lace
Yeah.
tablecloth.
How about what I texted you at this point? I'm like, I'm 11 minutes in and Mary's putting a
Tablecloth on. Is this
on.
the right
Is this
episode?
the right episode?
I'm like, oh yeah, just hold on. Give it about 2 more minutes and
Yeah.
you'll be there.
Yeah.
And the tablecloth is fine, whatever. I want more Jen being snarky about the whole situation. That's all I'm here for. And Mary says she really likes who she is and what she's doing in her life. And she does want to start dating and find her person, and she hopes for it. I can't believe we're never going to hear about Emos.
Never.
I have never. She dated a bit, and she thinks for some, they may not be interested in her either because she comes from a plural family and or she lives a very public life, which it's the public life to me that I think could be the bigger deal breaker for people.
So maybe that's satisfying enough for us. Like maybe her just kind of vaguely referencing Amos is enough.
Yeah.
Do we really? I don't know if
I don't
much
care
more
about this
really
guy.
happened. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a picture of him on Instagram and we all lost our minds.
Well, he did a live with her.
Okay. And then we all lost our minds. It was one day of content.
Yeah.
It's not like we watched them together for 10 years, then they broke up and we never talked about him again.
What I wanted was some sort of acknowledgement of him.
I did too.
And I feel like she's doing that. So I'm good.
Okay. But yeah, I would think that the publicness of her life would be a real impediment in dating.
I mean, we see that with Gypsy.
Yeah.
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 You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. And Gypsy keeps bringing it upon herself. But so does Mary Brown.
So does Mary Brown. Guess where Gypsy is right now?
Oh, no. Where?
In the words of Corey and Carly, Gypsy and Ken are at Jizz Fest right now.
Why is it Jizz
Jazz
Fest?
Jazz
it's a
Fest, which is where
Jazz
they got
Fest.
together last year.
Oh.
And where she got knocked up.
Okay. I did.
So they are
I
back.
thought Corey and Carly were calling just their long weekend Jizz Fest.
No,
I
think
didn't know
it's
it
'cause
was
during Jazz
corresponding
Fest.
with Jazz Fest. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they're back at Jizz Fest this weekend.
Okay. Well, let's hope she doesn't pop out
Please
another
don't
one.
get knocked up again.
Mm-mm.
Gypsy, please, God, please. Put a condom on. It'll be fine. Okay. Anyway, but what Mary says is she needs someone she can trust. It's going to take some time with her because she has had some situations in the past. Okay, Samuel Jacob Cooper. Okay. Plus, she doesn't want someone to lie to her about loving her for decades.
Mm.
And that's where we leave the fluff.
All right. So if you don't want to hear the dark stuff, guys, goodbye. We love you.
Yeah, we love you and we understand. And just be aware, folks are going to be talking about this in all the Facebook groups.
Yep.
We'll have a post about it.
Yep.
We'll have a warning about that post so people can scroll right by if that's not what they're up for. So I do want to talk initially how we begin this conversation.
This was wild.
This was wild, guys. So, and I know some people aren't going to watch it and do want to hear some of what happened. So we see Mary on the couch from last season doing her talking heads.
Yes.
And it was kind of a fun moment of like inside baseball because you could hear the producer be like, okay, we're going to talk about your birthday at the B&B. Like, this is what you're going to be commenting on now. And I'm sure they show them clips and they have to comment. And Mary's phone is down and she's like, oh, Cody's calling. I'll deal with him later. Because she's very much in the I'll deal with him later portion of their relationship. And he keeps calling. And as soon as he called twice, and as soon as they showed him calling her, I was like,
I'm not going to lie. This was riveting.
It was riveting. And my heart broke for Mary. Oh, by the way, guys, we're going to have a lot of empathy for everybody that we talk about today.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yep.
We're coming at this through empathy, not through making fun of anybody.
Yeah. You're going to hear us say nice things about Cody. Maybe not terrible things about Robin.
She wasn't in this very much, and I'm glad for it.
And we ask that you respect our wishes here, and we just kind of have a moratorium on this episode of ripping up Cody. We'll get back to it next week. Trust me. Maybe. We got to see what next week is.
If next week is more about Garrison, we probably won't. But around this topic, we will not we will not tear him down.
Because like I said on Reality Roundup, Cody already knows what you want to say to him. He knows it. Nobody feels worse about this than he does.
And we'll get to that. Yeah. It's very clear. But I was watching this thinking her entire life is about to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Her heart is about to be
It's the
irrevocably
before
broken.
and after.
And you
Mhm.
know, and you just watch, we know it's coming and she doesn't.
Yeah.
And I
It
broke
was
for her.
riveting. It was wild.
It was. And I'm glad
Mhm.
they actually didn't show
Yeah.
more than
yeah,
a second of her getting the call.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said, I just hate knowing what this call is because we
Yeah.
did.
And he texted her, I think it said it's important.
It's an emergency.
Yeah.
And so she answers. And he's the one who told her
Mhm.
that Garrison took his life. And I'm going to use some of the words that they use in talking about this here.
Yeah.
I know
We
have-
like to say die by suicide. That's the way you
die
should
by
phrase
suicide.
it.
I'm fine with that. I really don't care for when people say unalive, but I understand why they do that for AI algorithm
Yeah, sure,
purposes,
sure.
but I don't like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, we'll say death by suicide. We'll use the language that they used.
Yeah.
And Garrison took his life, and Mary can barely speak,
I
of
know.
course. And she said it was a surreal moment, and she just said one of our kids isn't going to do that.
Yeah.
One of our
Yeah.
kids. 'Cause
Mary,
he's her kid too.
I felt for Mary. Mary felt this very deeply this
She
episode.
did.
She was I mean, I'm not judging who felt what worse. I'm just
No.
saying like we don't typically see this level of emotion from Mary.
No.
And Mary was really in it this
Yeah, she was.
episode. Yeah.
She was. And what I found interesting is she immediately went over to Cody and Robin's. And Gwen was there, and she said she came out and hung on to Mary. And Mary says she didn't know what to do, called Janelle and just said, I'll bring you food and I'll just be there.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks about that they, we knew that they did this. They had a very small viewing right after Garrison's passing for
Mhm.
just family and very close friends. And I'm glad they were able to very tightly control this and keep
Yeah.
it very under the radar
Yeah.
because they didn't need vultures showing up. And she said it was awful. The whole experience was obviously awful. Let's talk about Janelle. I was
Okay.
going to say, like, I had this in a weird order. Guys kind of put names out, but let's talk about Janelle because Janelle and Cody get the bulk of the time talking about this. And I
Mhm.
feel that that's the appropriate thing.
Let's save Cody for the end.
Okay.
We'll do Janelle and then we'll go to Christine. Then we'll go to
Janelle was very honest and
Mhm.
very open
She really was.
and
And
very vulnerable.
I really appreciate like how fucking brave
Yeah.
she is to, talk about his alcoholism
Mhm.
and just how bad he was struggling and
Yeah. And how she worried for him
yeah.
and
Yeah.
how she we'll get to it. So, we've heard the whole thing that we knew that night Garrison was struggling. He'd been drinking. He was texting Janelle and he stopped around 8:30
Mhm.
and she went to bed. She was going to go to bed, but she told Gabe and Hunter, just keep checking in on him. And apparently the three of them kind of had a pact that they would always
They
rally
would all
around
like
him.
kind of
check in on him
triage
when
the
he was
situation. Yeah.
when he was struggling.
Mhm.
And then Gabe calls her and tells her about finding him. And so she said she was traveling back to Flagstaff. So people had asked this a million times. People were all upset about the timeline. She says in this episode, I had moved to North Carolina already.
Yeah, she had just moved.
She had just moved. She hadn't gotten all of her stuff yet because I don't think we'd gone to Plot's plot yet, but she moved to North Carolina. Or maybe they had at that point. I don't know. But I don't know when the Plot's plot happened because we haven't kept anything consistently timeline-wise this entire season.
Right.
That's okay. She says she knew he was struggling. And so she made a point of picking up the phone anytime he called. And usually it was about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But she just knew he wanted to just talk and connect. One thing she said over and over again, which I thought was an interesting way of saying it. She's like, I don't know why his drink, he couldn't get past it. He couldn't get over it. He couldn't get through it, his drinking. And apparently he's had episodes like this before. And she doesn't know why he couldn't just get a hold of it. This phrase she used, he lost control of his drinking. He lost control of it.
How old was he when he passed?
We should have that.
Do we know?
We can find it out very easily. Let me go.
So he was 26.
He was just about to turn 26.
I think this is something like as a parent, I kind of relate to this. Your kids go through things like my kids are young, so they haven't really gone through something like this.
Right.
But I could see the parent mentality being like, this is just a phase. He's in his early 20s. He's drinking a little too much. He'll get through this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see I don't think they'll ever make this decision again, not to get formal help for somebody. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I'm not certain, and I think Janelle touches on this, that they haven't begged him to go for formal
She said they
help.
offered him everything. They
Yeah,
offered him
yeah.
love and caring, and they offered him support. They offered him help, which I'm
Yes,
guessing meant
yes.
we've offered to help you get into rehab. We've offered to help you
Mhm.
get into a therapist, like
But I
whatever it may
do
be.
see that kind of mindset where you might think,
We'll get through this.
I mean, this is a 25-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Like, he'll
I
get
was
through
a
it.
mess at
Mhm.
25 in every part of my life.
Yeah.
So I see, and she has older kids who probably, she saw Maddie go through a lot of phases
Mhm.
that Maddie came out of.
Yeah.
So I completely get it. And she says he had a drinking problem. He was never a drinker. In fact, didn't like the taste of it. But during COVID, he started drinking. And I think this happened to a lot of people during COVID.
Yeah.
The isolation,
Yeah.
the fear,
And I'm just going to say it, and I'm not placing blame.
No, but this is
But
when
the
his relationship
family
with his dad got
turmoil
very
also
challenging.
contributed to it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm not.
his relationship with his dad and the whole family relationships got very messy during this time.
And the reason that I'm not blaming Cody is because I blame Cody for his part in how Garrison felt about being
Yes.
abandoned or whatever.
Yes.
But when somebody dies by suicide, there is so much more
Than we
going
can ever
on
know.
that goes into it that we will never know. We'll never know. You know, it could have been 95 things. It could have been 3 things. We don't know.
Nope.
So to place blame on Cody solely for that would be to do a disservice, I think, to Garrison, to Cody. So like that's
To everybody who loved him.
Cody's responsible for his part in the breakdown of the relationship between he and Garrison.
And
period.
Yeah.
But we don't know. There's not a direct correlation here.
And I've talked about this before. I know I've talked about it on Real Talk. I don't mind saying it on the public feed. I too have been in a position where I almost made irrevocable choices in my life.
Me too.
And it wasn't one thing.
No.
It might have been one thing that day that toppled the very large tower.
Yes.
But that tower was built over time.
I think we don't realize, I think we forget as adults how, and you and I talk about this a lot, how big and crushing everything feels to you when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I very clearly remember being at this place as well. Yeah. And I was young, probably 14, 13. And
I was 12. Yeah.
What kept me focused and pulled me out of it was thinking about what it would do to my mother.
Mm.
So, you know, everybody's different.
Yeah.
And everybody has different tugs and pulls. And obviously at 15, like I wasn't mixing alcohol into the equation.
Right.
Which I think makes it, 10 times worse, a depressive episode. So I don't know.
And I really do believe that the trauma, the collective world, global trauma of COVID has changed all of our DNAs forever.
Yeah.
It's a collective trauma. And it's going to impact how everything happens in all of our lives, even in the tiniest way.
Yeah.
And this was a hard period for his family. This was a hard period for him. That's why he started drinking more.
Let's not forget, too, this is a kid who grew up on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if that weighed into his drinking or whatever, but it's hard to live your life in the public eye.
It is.
Real fucking hard.
It is.
You can't screw up. You can't do anything because it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's a very hard line to walk.
Yeah, it is. It is. So he started drinking, and Janelle says it got really bad in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
They offered him love, support, help, resources. And she said very clearly, I don't want people to think that there wasn't help for him.
Yeah.
Because there was. And the hardest part of mental health is you can offer somebody all of the help in the world, and if they don't want it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do we talk about and see where people are, family members I've watched a million episodes of Intervention in my life where people send people to rehab and people bail out in a day or two because you have to want to be there.
I mean, we're watching on Love After Lockup with Michael and Joey right now.
Oh, God.
We
didn't watch last night's yet, but yeah.
Michael has all the support in the world, but he's just not, he can't get there.
He's not
addiction
ready.
is addiction.
Yep. And his addiction is not even remotely in check.
No. Mm-mm.
It's heartbreaking. But Janelle says she doesn't understand what happened that night. He's had other nights like that. And he just basically went radio silent and would wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
And come and call her or text her.
Which, can I just say from a maternal standpoint, what a nightmare.
Oh,
What a
God.
nightmare just having your kid, be so distraught and so upset and then not hearing from them for 8 or 10 hours and then they resurface and they're okay.
And they're like, hey.
Because if you think that this did not go through Janelle's mind before.
Oh, yeah.
It 100% did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And she talks a lot about in this how what a gift moving to North Carolina has been for her through this.
She needed that.
She needed this. And she talks about how she needed a dream and a plan and something to work on and something to do every day. Because I can imagine if she was sitting, in student housing in Flagstaff, feeling like she had no control over her life and this happened.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. And we meet Janelle's sister, Carrie. Loved her.
I loved her too. It was really, we don't see this for Janelle a lot. Like usually Christine is the support or her kids, but to see somebody from her family of origin, like come out there and be there for her was so, it's the bond of sisterhood. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really know anything about Carrie. I don't know where she lives, but it felt very much to me like a sister who's like, I'm just showing up and I'm just going to be here.
Judging by the fact that Carrie could not stop crying.
Yeah. It was very soon after it happened.
It was very soon after. And she and Janelle must be pretty close.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty close.
It seemed like it. Plus, it's just interesting to see what other people in Janelle's family look like.
I know. She kind of looks like her.
She kind of does, but also kind of didn't.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wonder if they had different fathers, but no, Janelle didn't grow up in polygamy. Because she kind of didn't look like her, which is so interesting because Janelle's girls look exactly like her.
I know.
So it's just, I love biology in that way and genetics and how that all comes out. Carrie was like, so Savannah's still in Flagstaff, and yes, but she was coming out, and apparently Savannah might be going to school in North Carolina.
Yeah,
which I didn't know that. Janelle says she has good days and bad days, and she's making something. She's making baking of something.
Janelle is one of the, and I don't say this in a derogatory way. I don't mean it that way. Janelle is one of the most cut off people from her emotions. Like Janelle knows how to keep it under wraps.
Yep.
And to see her losing it, my heart broke for her.
My heart broke for her too. Because this, you can tell she was just very much in the thick of it, had to take breaks talking to her sister over and over again, which everyone had to take a lot of breaks through this, which is fine. And she said it was just his birthday and it was hard. So actually, if it was just his birthday, this is a month later because his birthday was April 10th. So this is just over a month later.
Yeah.
She says thinks being in North Carolina is good for her. It's different. It's an entirely different place. I think about how it must be nice for her to not see Garrison everywhere in her space all the time, but also to be heartbroken that she doesn't see him everywhere in her space all the time.
When she said, sometimes I forget this happened. And then I wake up and I remember. My heart broke. I mean, I can't even imagine what that's like. I went through it with a grandparent and it was devastating. I can't even imagine a child.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. It's interesting. I told you, and I've mentioned I read or listened to Rob Delaney's book. I would feel bad can we say we read an audiobook? I don't know. I feel very weird about it.
I don't know the terminology.
I don't know the term. But anyway, I listened to his book. I read his book, whatever. I interacted with his book. His book got put into my brain somehow. And like I said, it's one of the most beautiful studies of grief ever. And he talks about how when, he told somebody about his son being ill and his son had a brain tumor and died, and saying that his son had this tumor, and somebody said to him, "Oh, my grandfather had that too once and he was fine."
It's not.
And Rob was like, "Fuck off.
It's not the same.
Your 93-year-old grandfather with a tumor and my 2-year-old, not the same. Not the same."
I agree.
It's like I said, folks, if you want to read a beautiful book about grief,
Mm-hmm.
not Amy Archer. You will never recover from this book.
I won't read it. No.
Good. No,
Mm-mm.
good.
No.
So Janelle also says that she's worried about Gabe.
Yeah. I am too.
But I'm worried too. But she said he had already been in counseling before this happened, which I'm
Good.
so grateful for, and has
Good.
continued. She said the whole family is also having a lot more conversations around mental health.
That's good.
That is really good. And
Yeah.
we've seen Matt. I mean, I think that was part of why Maddie wanted to do that podcast with her friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've seen Maddie on a lot of lives and a lot of messages on Instagram talking about mental health, talking about basically taking off the shiny armor of social media to be more real.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good that this family's talking about it. I think that often in very conservative religious families, we don't talk about mental health. It becomes all just God will take care of it all.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, a relationship with God can be very healthy for their mental health. But for a lot of people, it's not enough. And that's fine. It's not a failing.
And that's the thing too. Like Gabriel is in therapy, it sounds like.
Mhm.
That's great. But there also needs to be a couple other protective factors here. And talking about it openly in the family is one of those.
Making it not a big deal to talk about, which is why I talk very openly about being in therapy. I talk very openly about being on antidepressants. Like, because there's no shame. And the more we can talk about it, the more normal it becomes, because it should be no different than going to the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of how we take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
No one looks at you funny for going to the dentist. Though mine looks like John Denver and tells hooker jokes. So that part's a little funny.
Okay.
But anyway. So, but she just says over and over again, Gabe's going to be okay. He's doing okay. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. Sweet little baby angel that he is. And Janelle talks about having to get his house ready to sell. And we know that didn't happen until very recently.
Mm-hmm. She probably just couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to.
I don't know if I could either. And honestly, probably as long as somehow I could cobble together the mortgage payments, I wouldn't even think too hard about it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And between that family, they could cobble together the mortgage payments, I'm sure.
Yeah. Robin could leave one doll to the side.
She could not buy one more outfit for her dollies, and then they could pay his mortgage. Janelle's sister is so loving.
Yeah, she really is.
She really
has
is
deep
just
affection
lovely.
for Janelle. It's very clear.
And
I got older sister vibe from Janelle. Janelle might be this
I got
person's older
vibe
sister.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it was just nice to see people from Janelle's family of origin. Really, the only person we'd ever met was her mother, who I also really loved.
Yeah, we loved her mother.
Yeah, her mom was great.
Grandma Cheryl, right?
Grandma Cheryl.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Grandma Cheryl at the end. And she says now that she's in North Carolina versus Flagstaff, she's glad. But sometimes just the grief catches her and it's so raw. Yeah. That's grief. And I feel like we as a society, we've talked about this a lot. We talk about this in true crime, where the way we think people are going to react to things is rarely how people actually react to things. Like we've talked all about the Karen Reed thing. Like she's not behaving in the way we think she should, so she must be guilty. And it's like, no, that's not how things are. And I think grief is one of those things that we expect to look a certain way.
Well, and I think too that we used to have, I don't think we do anymore, but we used to have this idea that grief was something you got over, you got through.
Yep.
But now we know that grief lives within you. It just lives in different spaces, takes a different shape, and you move forward with it, especially losing a child. That's always with you.
Yeah.
It's always with you.
There's nothing about losing a child you will get over.
There's a beautiful clip going around on TikTok, I think, with Billy Bob Thornton. And he talks about losing his brother. And he's like, you know, part of me, I will have that grief with me forever. And that's okay because that honors my brother and he deserves that. I should be thinking about him. He deserves that. And I thought that was just such a unique and interesting way to think about that.
Yeah.
That person deserves to stay alive within you, even if it is in the form of grief. I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
Rob Delaney says something very similar. He in essence says what an honor it is to be able to grieve for his son.
Yeah.
Because that meant that he got to have that love and his son had that love of him. Like,
yeah,
that's an honor to love somebody that much.
Yeah, I agree.
To ache that much.
Yeah.
So that's Janelle. Is there anything else we want to say about her?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Let's go to Christine.
Okay.
And we don't see a lot of her in this episode.
No, we don't, which was interesting.
It was
because
interesting.
I worried for her when this went down.
I
'Cause
worried for her
I
a
thought
lot.
Christine would take this, and I'm sure she did, just as hard
Sure
as
she did.
Janelle did.
I think she did.
Because she was a mother to him in every way.
Yeah. She raised him almost as much as Janelle did.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that Hunter called her, and she says Hunter rarely called
Mm-hmm.
her. So it worried her when she called, and he was sobbing and said,
It's interesting that Hunter called her and Cody didn't. Cody called Mary.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting.
There's so many people in this family.
Yeah, they just lit up the phone tree.
Yeah.
The Virgin River phone tree.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Mhm,
if you think
mhm.
about it, there's 21 people
Yeah.
just in that immediate family to make
Mhm.
aware of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to, I don't want to think
I
about
don't
it too
mean
hard.
anything.
Yeah.
I don't mean anything
Yeah.
by
But
it.
it is
I'm-
interesting.
I'm just, I don't know. It just struck me as odd. I don't know
that
why.
Hunter was the
Yeah.
one, not
Yeah.
Garrison.
I mean,
Or
I'm
not
glad. I'm
Cody.
glad it was somebody she loved and trusted who called her
Yes.
with this news.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe she wouldn't answer the phone for Cody, even if he's like, it's an emergency, please. answer."
Right. Except I do think that they did communicate in and around Truly. So
Yeah.
they
yeah,
had
yeah.
to.
I'm teasing.
Yeah. So, but she said sobbing and said Garrison killed himself. The words
Yeah.
he used telling Christine.
Yeah.
She said she went to her office and just fell to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, we all knew he was sad and we all hoped. And she just broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Christine talks about his service, his memorial service, and it was
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And she says it was beautiful as it could be. And she said, I got to talk about him as a kid when he was little.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I was fine. I was doing okay through this. And I gave the eulogy at Charlie's dad's funeral. And I remember that feeling of like, I'm okay. I'm okay. And this was my husband's father, who I'd only known for 5 years. Like, and I really, really loved his father, but like, this wasn't my child.
Yeah.
At all. And I remember that moment of like, okay, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. I'm not making eye contact with anybody. I'm like looking at the back of the room and just getting through this. She said till she made eye contact with McKelty and talked about this movie quote. It was the movie Dragonheart. Have you ever watched this movie?
I've never watched the movie.
Me
No.
neither.
I mean, I did. I pulled up, guys, you're going to hear the quote that Garrison really loved at the beginning of this episode. And at the end, you'll hear this little quote that was kind of further down the line that I really enjoyed. But so like I watched a clip or two of it.
Yeah, I went and watched a
I
clip
never
of it as
saw
well.
it.
But I vaguely remember this movie happening. Because I vaguely remember being like, wait, there's a movie with Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery and
But
dragons?
it was, what year was it?
1996.
Okay, so he loved it when he was little.
Yeah, he loved it as a
Yeah.
little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect. Actually, no, he was born in 98. So yeah, I mean, it was
Right.
He loved it as a little kid.
It's kind of like we liked Never Ending Story as kids. You know what I mean? Like that was our movie or whatever.
Exactly. And she said she was she's struggling hard to explain, but at the end of the movie, the dragon dies and turns into a constellation. And we know Garrison was really into stars and photography. So much of his Instagram was mostly his cats and stars and photography.
Yeah.
And he was a great photographer.
Yeah, he was.
He's very talented. And how this dragon dies and turns into Draco, this constellation. And then the line is, when we want to look at him again, we can look to the stars or look at the stars. And that's really all we hear from Christine. Yeah.
She does say like she collapsed on the floor. Like she felt her legs go out from under her. And oh God, my heart just breaks for her.
I've had that experience.
Yeah.
I've had that experience. We didn't hear a lot from Robin in this, and I'm grateful for that.
We do hear from Maddie. Can we talk about the Maddie situation a minute?
Yeah, I've got all the kids. I just want to do Robin real quick, and then we'll get to the kids.
All right.
I want to give them more time.
We don't hear a lot from Robin.
No.
Good.
And I'm grateful. I'm just grateful. We all know why we're all grateful.
It's in good taste to not hear from her a lot.
Exactly. But she says how she was working in her room and Cody came in and told her. And she says she was trying to figure out what was going on. And it seems to me that Robin has taken on the role throughout all of this is how do I support Cody, which is
fine.
Fine.
Good.
Okay. Let's talk about Gabe. Gabe, Maddie, and McKelty and Tony.
Mm.
As soon as Gabe came on the screen, I was like,
Mm.
oh God, this sweet baby angel. I love this kid.
This broke my heart. This is kind of where I started actually like wailing because I just thought I'm going to cry. I just thought like how close my girls are.
Yeah.
And if something ever happened to one of them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
How
okay.
devastated the other one would be. Like, and Gabe and Garrison
weren't twins,
have
but they
that
were
vibe.
incredibly close.
Yeah, sorry.
That's no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's
But
fine.
it's such a bond that like I don't understand. In fact, I was laying in bed last night and I was thinking they're gonna miss each other more when they go to college than they'll miss me. Like that's how tight that bond is.
Yeah.
And I'm so upset for Gabriel.
I know.
Go on, I'm sorry.
I think though that Hunter is also I think those three boys, Hunter, Gabe, and Garrison, were all super duper close. And based on what we see in social media, so it's what they choose to put out there. I get the sense that Gabe and Hunter spend a lot of time together and see each other often, which I'm grateful for. These kids do stuff together all the time. And they do stuff together across mother lines.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Gabe and Gwen do a lot of stuff together. Like these kids are close, which I'm very, very glad for. Thankfully, Gabe doesn't talk at all about the experience of finding him, which I'm grateful for. But he just talks so beautifully about his brother. First of all, he calls him Gare.
Yeah.
Gare, which I thought was really sweet because we never really hear that. It's interesting because Garrison's name is actually Robert Garrison Brown. I wonder why they wound up calling him by his middle name.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I'm
he
always
just
interested
didn't like
in that.
Bob, maybe he just didn't like. I'm sorry, I'm trying to compose.
That's why I'm trying to talk about something really not emotional.
I don't know, but it makes sense to me. I mean, the same reason Dayton doesn't go by his birth name, right?
Well, he had the same name as his father.
Yeah.
So it's a nickname. It's just interesting. I have a friend, my friend Eric, who is Joseph Eric and has always gone by Eric.
Yeah.
No clue why. His parents just named him Joseph Eric and then started calling him Eric. Like, I want to be like, why don't you just name him Eric if that's what you wanted to call him? But
right.
Whatever. That's always interesting to me. But he calls him Gary. He says Garrison was amazing. He says he was an amazing person and he felt deeper than he expressed, but everyone in the family knew that. And he also says he brought an air of ease. He made an effort to make everyone around him comfortable, and that's the real mark of a gentleman. And Gare did it well. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It is. And I just, when I saw him, that's when I lost it.
Yeah.
Because he's forever changed. His DNA is forever altered.
Maddie talks about, we're talking about Maddie now, and she says the exact same thing. That they had been talking all day, and Janelle called her and told her. And she says, there are moments that alter your brain chemistry. And hearing that your sibling has died is one of those moments.
Yeah.
Particularly given how close these kids were.
I'm not going to be able to keep it together.
I know. That's why I'm just going to keep powering through us, girl. I got us. It's okay. It's okay. Amy, this is horrifically sad.
Maddie felt very stoic to me.
She did.
Like she had to detach.
And you can tell she was very pregnant when they filmed this.
Yeah.
And I say that only because Maddie's one of those people that when she gets pregnant, her face changes. And then as soon as she's not pregnant, her face goes back to pre-pregnancy. And one of the things that Maddie's talked a lot about is that Garrison compared himself to people on social media a lot.
Yeah.
And felt like he was failing a lot. Which I want to be like, you were an Army veteran and you owned your own home before you were 25. That's incredible success.
And he was like just really bright and funny and very handsome.
Very handsome.
I don't. But this just goes to show like
it doesn't make sense.
You can be all the things, but it's what you feel you are inside that that really drives the train.
Yeah. And that's why I think Maddie has done a really good job of taking the filter off of social media for herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought that this was actually an example of it because she wasn't made up. She didn't get herself done up for the camera for this conversation.
Right.
She was just who
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
liked
fine.
it.
I did too. Caleb was incredibly sweet too. And they
I've come to really like Maddie. I
do
want to say
too.
that. Yeah.
I do too. We've said teenage Maddie was insufferable.
I mean, teenage Amy was insufferable. So I get it.
Most teenagers are insufferable.
Mhm.
And Maddie was real extra about it. But no,
Maddie
she's grown up into a really lovely young woman. She seems to be a very good mom.
Yeah.
She seems to be a good human.
I agree.
And they talked about they were trying to get him to move to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And
Caleb's like, we almost had him here.
That's exactly what we said. We almost had him here. We almost had him.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see Caleb's heart as broken as anybody's.
Yeah.
We have to hear from McKelty and Tony because we can't have an episode without them. And McKelty talked about how Garrison was the jokester of the family, which we saw a lot of that too.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how they interspersed all of these comments and conversations with just photos of Garrison and ones that we had seen and a lot that we had never seen.
You know what was interesting? Just a takeaway from this whole episode.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about why are we so into this show? Why are we, blah, 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 blah.
Like, why are we watching these people do flash mobs for season after season?
It has occurred to me watching this episode that we feel like we know these people.
Yeah, we do. We've watched this family for 15 years.
When I'm watching Gabriel, when I'm watching Maddie, I'm like, I almost feel like they're my kids.
Mm-hmm. We've watched them grow up.
Like the bond, the parasocial relationship we have with this family is really intense.
It is really intense.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it. It's part of the appeal of the show is these people have been in our lives for 15 years.
Right. Right. And for a long time, it felt very real. Like they felt very much who they were. But, we're learning more. There's more and more that was a curated view. But it's okay. And Tony just talks about, what a great guy he was. He was always joyful, always smiley, very chill. And he said he has a ton of friends. He was just a nice, cool dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Cody.
Okay.
We all know, anyone who's listened to this, who's ever listened to us before knows how we feel about Cody. This is actually what's going to make me cry.
Yeah. I ached for him in this episode.
I did too. And I did a lot because of where I am in my own relationship with my father.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I just ached for him.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd have tears for Cody Brown.
No, but Amanda.
I do.
I
do.
When he was like, all I want is to take my boy back. I was like, stop.
I know. Okay. So let's talk about it. He says he was stunned. And he said initially he was trying to console his kids, which has to mean Robin's kids because they were there initially, I'm sure. And then he says Gwen called him and said, "Can I come see you?" And he said, of course, baby, or of course, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he says that she immediately came over and they were sitting together and she was sobbing and he was holding her hand. And the way he described it, I thought was interesting because I've had this experience myself. He said he felt like he was looking down his own esophagus and into his own chest.
Yeah.
Like I've had that out of body experience where I felt like I'm looking inside of myself.
Yeah.
And he said he was silent and then he just began wailing and didn't know what to do. It's awful.
I know.
Guys, we're just going to both cry through the end. Mark today down, May 3rd, 2025. Amanda finally fucking cries on the podcast.
Being a parent is so hard. And then having to console your kids through this.
Yeah. Through the most horrific grief of your own life.
Yeah.
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 It's... He said the strongest memories that he had were in the first few days with Janelle at the funeral home. And that actually made me glad that they did this together.
Me too.
I hope they were able to come together through this.
Me too.
This is the part that broke me. He said, I didn't know what to say. I just was telling everybody that I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is why I will never rip on this man about this ever.
Yeah.
We've said it all along. He knows.
Right.
No one is aching more.
When we get to the seasons where the COVID stuff happens, we will rip on him for his behavior then.
Yes.
But I will never say or imply that what he did caused this, because no fucking parent deserves this. No human deserves this. No brother, no sister, nothing. Nobody deserves this. And Cody knows it. He knows in his heart that he did not act the way he should have at times. And nobody feels it more than him.
No.
I'm convinced.
I am too. He says he was sitting there with Janelle. And they both agreed. And he said, I just want to take my boy home.
Ugh.
And I love the fact that he's buried in Wyoming, and I love that he's with Grandma Cheryl. Because I think for Janelle, that had to be the safest place in the world would be with her mom.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm glad. They also decided to cremate him so they'd have flexibility and time to celebrate him properly, which I think is part of the allure of cremation personally, is it takes timing off the table.
Yeah.
You take as little or as much time as you need. Most of what we see of Cody, other than on the couch, is in a conversation outside with Robin at a fire pit, where at one point I felt like they were making really weird sex jokes about the fire. And I was like, I'm not okay with this. You can move on now. Cody has a poster-sized photo of Garrison over his desk of him and his fatigues. Yeah. And she asks if he's okay, if he wants to be alone. And he says, no, I like having you here. It brings me comfort to have you here. I'll just say Robin was fine through this whole conversation and just let that go.
Yeah.
She was fine.
Yeah, she was fine.
He talks about how grief comes in waves for him, and it wasn't supposed to be this way. And it's heartbreaking. He trails off a lot. He doesn't know what to say through a lot of his conversation about this.
Yeah.
But he tells Robin, he says, I didn't get a chance to make things right.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
We had hoped they'd had healing, and we don't know. But from his perspective, he never got to make this right with his baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his baby died.
Yeah. And now he just wants to take his baby home. Yeah. Yeah.
I did not expect this.
I know.
I did not expect this.
It's because of our connection with them. Like, we just feel like we know them.
Yeah. And I'll be fully transparent. For me, this is very personal right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cody says he doesn't know what to do with his death, and he has to do something different because he could have had more time with him. He thought there would be more time. So
now I want to say this makes sense that we're seeing in some scenes that Cody is trying to reconnect with the children. Because that's
absolutely
what he's saying here.
This Valentine's thing happened after this 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yep. And the trip to Utah to see the girls.
Yep. Well, the Valentine conversation about that.
Yeah.
This absolutely happened after Garrison passed away.
Yeah.
The one thing Robin says, and we know Robin's lost people to suicide as well in her family. And the thing she says, which I thought is true and is helpful, is we always think there'll be more time. And there often isn't. And we just don't know it. He says, people tell him not to what if.
Yeah.
But he says for him, that's how he's processing it. And I think you have to let somebody, I understand why people tell people don't what if.
Yeah.
What if I'd called earlier? What if I'd done this, that, and the other thing? We could have stopped this. That's all of our time machines are broken. But I understand why people say that, and I understand why for him that's the way he's processing it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
He still wonders if he could have done something, and he wonders about the what could have beens. And he says he wants to because it makes him feel connected to Garrison, to think about what could have happened in his life.
Yeah.
And imagine the opportunities and the lost opportunities, and that's how he can stay close to him.
Yeah.
And Robin keeps telling him that he says, Robin, you keep telling me I need to feel this, but I don't want to.
Amanda, he has such a long road ahead of him.
He does.
I don't know.
He's not somebody whose mental health is good to begin with, or has good mental health skills, I'm going to say.
I really hope that he's getting
counseling of some sort.
Counseling. Yeah.
I do. But she says it leaks out of you. And she says the body keeps the score.
Yeah.
Bodies keep the score, man. You can't hide from any of this.
Mm-mm.
Cody breaks down. He says, how do I do the rest of my life with every holiday and every birthday?
Yeah.
All of the frustration I had over COVID, that is so unimportant. I'm just sad about what could have been or would have been.
Yeah, that's him. That's as
real as we're ever going to get out of this man.
That's as much as he's going to get. He's going to be accountable, like hold himself accountable for whatever relationship strains were there.
Yeah. And Robin asks, are you ready to take him home? And he says, yes. He says, all I want to do is take him home and bury him. And I guess it sounds like at this point, Garrison's ashes were at his sister's. I'm going to guess maybe with Gwen.
Yeah.
But he says, I have to go to his sister's and get them.
Mm-hmm.
And says, I want to carry him home.
Yeah.
He says, I feel like it is a pilgrimage for me.
Mm-hmm.
And all I want to do is take his body home.
And to see Cody crying was really impactful because we don't see him cry a lot.
No.
We see him cry out of anger, frustration a lot of times.
But not on grief.
Not out of like just pure heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all we have?
That's it. That's where he ends.
I just want to talk a little bit about there is an epidemic of suicide in this country for young men.
There is.
While we were a podcast movement, I got news that somebody, I was not close to this person. I don't want to mischaracterize our relationship, but in our orbit around Garrison's age, committed suicide. Or died by suicide. I'm sorry. So I kind of wanted to look up some statistics, and white males accounted for 68% of all suicide deaths in 2022.
Wow.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the United States. Almost 50,000 Americans die from suicide, and firearms accounted for 54%.
Yeah.
So, there's that whole side to it too. Men die by suicide 4 times more than women.
We have an epidemic in this country where we don't talk about men's mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we struggle with how to talk about mental health in this country, period.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely struggle with resources. We do not resource it enough, but
I do think it's getting better, don't you?
I do think it is getting better. We have a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
A long, long way to go. Leo, now's not the time, my dude. We have a long, sorry guys, Leo's just going to do this. We have a long way to go. And I think the more we talk about it, the better.
Yeah. I just think, when I was younger, I used to think suicide was incredibly selfish when I was younger, when I was a young girl.
Yeah.
I've come to learn that it is incredibly lonely. It is an incredibly desolate, lonely place.
Yeah.
And I worry the reason Gabriel is just hitting me so hard is one of my best friends, her father died by suicide, and she was the one who found him.
I had a friend who had a similar experience.
And she was just changed forever.
Yeah.
Like the person who not only has to grieve, but will forever have that image
in their brain.
that memory is
Yeah.
whew,
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. And I think that a lot of people talk about how selfish suicide is, because a lot of people do see it that way. And I
It's
think
not though. Yeah.
I think the people who see it that way are people who have never gotten close to it personally
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. That was me when I was young. Like, I didn't know anybody. And I think that's the way it was talked about
Mhm.
when we were growing up. Like, that's the way it was characterized.
In my experience, I actually felt like I was doing a favor to people if I
Yeah.
had done that,
Yeah.
which is such a horrible thing to realize and say. And I've spent a lot of time in therapy talking about that experience,
I
personally.
wrote about it in Fat Girl Skinny.
Yeah.
Like, I was just at a place where I didn't think I was loved. I didn't think anybody cared about me.
Mhm.
It literally felt painful to go forward.
Yeah.
That's lonely and desolate. That's not selfish.
No, it's pain.
It's pain.
It's pain.
It's pain.
And I wish I could hug Garrison.
I wish I could hug Gabriel.
I wish I could hug Gabriel. I wish I could hug all of them in
So
this.
I want you guys to know, like, we're just a podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that in our Backdoor Friends group, we have a really strong community in there. And if you're struggling, I really hope that you'd reach out, because you're not alone. And you being gone, like somebody being gone, we're seeing this, right?
Yeah.
Garrison being gone is impacting countless lives.
I'm sitting here crying about it.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck am I?
Right. I mean, you are more important than you know you are. You are so important to somebody.
Yeah.
Especially, your siblings, your parents, if you still have those people, your
own
friends,
children, your friends. Yeah.
I mean, you matter to people.
Yeah.
And I know that we can get in a place where we don't think we do.
Yep.
But I promise you you do.
We all do. And there is help. Amy will put the suicide hotline in the show notes. I know she would anyway, but I just made her do that anyway, but you would have anyway. Like I said, if you are finding yourself in a place where this is feeling like something you're being pulled to, even at a very low level, call. Like I said, you don't have to be in immediate danger and crisis. If you are somebody who's feeling like you need help, reach out to somebody. You may be feeling like nobody will care. I promise you, people will care.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I also want to say, I hope that the bigger lesson that we take away from this is mend the relationships that you can, that aren't toxic or hurtful to you. Do you know what I mean? If you're mad at your sister over something stupid, just mend that relationship if you can.
If you
don't have to agree. You know what I mean? And if somebody is toxic or hurtful, I absolutely don't do that.
Right.
But, I bet you Cody would give anything to have another conversation with Garrison and just be like,
fuck COVID.
Sorry about the COVID shit. Yeah.
Sorry, I was a dick bag.
Like, sometimes things seem so big and they're just not.
They're just not.
I'd like to end by reading Garrison's obituary.
Please.
Okay. On March 4th, beloved son, brother, uncle, and friend Robert Garrison Brown joined his ancestors in the halls of Valhalla. Born to Janelle and Cody Brown, sixth child of a big, unconventional family. Preceded in death by Cheryl Lee Brown, William Wynn Brown, and Curtis Taylor Brown. He is survived by his large, adoring family and his 3 cats, Cathew, Patches, and Ms. Buttons.
I love his love of cats. And I love the fact that he had a cat named Cathew.
I know. We remember him as the coolest dude who lived with a zeal for life, led through his curiosity. He was a world traveler, going to multiple countries and continents. He was a jack of all trades and a master in comedy. He enjoyed being an amateur craftsman and an adventurous photographer. There's a typo there, but I'm not gonna do it. His night sky photography evoked deep emotion. I agree with that.
His night sky photography was stunning.
Yeah. He was a staff sergeant in the Army National Guard and a proud CAV scout. So I didn't know what CAV scout was, but it's cavalry.
Okay.
He was in the cavalry. He was in school to become a nurse because he cared about people.
I didn't know he was in school to become a nurse like Hunter.
Robert Garrison knew the best thing to say to make everyone laugh, especially in awkward situations. He made friends everywhere he went, and his death leaves all who knew him in immense pain. Robert Garrison's death is a reminder to tell those you love how you feel and to take care of each other. Where do we turn when we miss him? To the stars, Bowen, to the stars. His family asks for privacy as we mourn his death, and in lieu of flowers, please make a donation to the Humane Society.
Yeah.
So it's... all right, Amanda, we did it.
We did it.
We cried.
We both cried. We both cried.
We laughed about David climbing a fence. We've gone on a journey here.
We have. After he died, I made a donation to the rescue where I got Leo and Toby.
I made a donation to the one that he did.
To the one. I know a lot. I thought about the one that Janelle pointed out where Garrison volunteered and got all of his cats, but I was like, they're going to get a ton.
They're going to get a ton of money.
So,
and they got $25 from me.
Yeah.
So there you go.
The place that took care of Leo and Toby is...
I like that.
All cat rescues are good rescues.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I hope this was okay.
Yeah, I hope we did okay.
I mean, I'm sure we'll hear if we didn't.
Yeah.
But, we love you guys. And
we love you.
Thank you for going on this journey with us. And, next week, I think there's going to be a little bit more of it.
Yeah.
The description, I want to say the description is out. Let me just see if I could grab it. All right, guys, we can't find the episode description, but I know somebody on TikTok was saying that they're going to Wyoming.
Okay.
So they're going to Wyoming. That's where we're going to maybe see them on the horse.
Yeah.
Remember that footage from the trailer? And then it's Cody.
Doesn't Robin fall off the horse at some point too?
Oh, I wish. No, I don't wish. I'm sorry. I have to behave myself. Cody, I wish you'd fall off the horse, but be okay. And
I just wish for funny. It's sort of like the quad.
So Cody and Robin and their kids go to Wyoming, and then the rest of the family meets them there, and it's going to be more Garrison. So
well, whatever it is, we'll get through it together, friends.
We'll get through it. Next week we will be back as usual on Patreon. So if you want to hear full episodes, join us behind our paywall.
We don't usually cry through most of our episodes.
No, we don't. We don't normally cry. I usually rage out, actually.
Yeah, we usually just rage about Cody Brown.
Yeah,
but not today.
So thank you all for listening to this one, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks, Amy. Love you.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
And in the days following Draco's sacrifice, Bowen and Kara led the people in a time of justice and brotherhood. As I remember it now, those were golden years, warmed by an unworldly light. And when things became the most difficult, Draco's star shone more brightly for all of us who knew where to look.